welcome to Krackpots We Met Downstairs, brought to you by Krackpots Comedy Club in Massillon, Ohio, with special thanks to Funny Noises Studios in Massillon, Ohio, and shout out to Dinda Mo's Unique Chocolates, which can be found at Krackpots Comedy Club in Massillon, Ohio. I am your host, Rebecca Marcoulin, and today I am with Jenna Kim Jones.
Woohoo! It's great to be here.
Heck yeah, Jenna. So you just walked in. We were downstairs. This was right before Friday Night Live show.
That's right.
You came in. You got yourself a drink.
Yep.
I just walked out of the bathroom, and they're like, "Oh, Rebecca's here. Let's go." And I said hi. We shook hands. We're up here on the second floor at the old radio station. How you feeling? Describe the vibes.
Listen, the elevator was freezing. I thought, oh no, I'm going to be so cold, but it's warm and friendly in here. And here's what I'm going to tell you. You just said the name of this city multiple times. I'm still going to say it wrong because I can't not say that O in Massillon, okay? That's how it's spelled. So, Massillon, I'm excited to be here, okay? I'm trying really hard. But I love it. We're in this crazy room. I'm not sure if I'm being kidnapped or if this is a podcast, but maybe a little of both.
That seems to be the general consensus
Yeah,
when I come up here. Multiple people come up here. I had one guy, he came up here, was like, "You're too nice to be in a room like this. I don't know how. You're too nice to bring me here."
The look of it is sus, but you are way cool. So I don't know. I willingly came in here, guys. I thought she seems all right. Let's do this.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a lot better now that we have the overhead light fixed. In the first
Yes.
couple of episodes, I had to use my phone's lights to kind of
flickering
keep it.
lights and you one light bulb hanging down. You were
we had
interrogating people.
We had this lamp back here.
Oh, yeah,
it's like
that
on this other
is
chair.
an interrogation
So
lamp.
we
I don't even
used
know where
that.
you find a lamp like that.
You'd have to ask Chris. He's the one who brought it up.
Oh,
He also
Chris.
brought the heater that heat up the room for us before the interview. Thank you, Chris.
My chair's a little squeaky too, so if you hear squeaking, it's the chair, guys. Calm down.
Yeah, that chair squeaks a lot. I cut out, there are multiple interviews where like squeaky chairs, and I do my best to cut it out as much as I can, but
do
you know,
your best.
sometimes the chair just squeaks.
Sometimes gotta keep it real.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So here at Krackpots We Met Downstairs, we understand that a lot of interviews tend to ask the same questions over and over again, and that can be very, very like, monotonous and mundane.
Sure.
So I'm going to try to ask you a question that you have not been asked before.
Correct.
So, you know how wolves were a thing, and then we domesticated wolves into dogs, and now there's wolves and dogs, and they're two separate things?
Yeah,
So,
obviously.
if you could take one wild animal and domesticate it, which wild animal would you pick, and then what would you call its domesticated
Oh
cousin?
my gosh. You weren't kidding when you're like, yeah, we're going to ask you a question. Okay. Okay, let's see. We got wolves turned into dogs. I'm assuming cats came from cougars or something, right?
Yeah, well, there's debate over not how domesticated cats actually are.
It's fair.
So-
that is fair and accurate. I'm terrified of cats. I think
Really?
they're so
Interesting.
unpredictable. Okay? Do they love you? Do they not? Are they plotting your demise? I don't understand. But my friends who have cats seem really passionate about this animal that might like them or might not. I don't know.
I'm allergic to cats. They make me sneeze,
Oh,
but other
there
than
you
that,
go.
they're alright. But
I don't know. I think they're suspicious. Cats are suspicious, okay? Let's see. Okay. This is a hard question. Why'd you give me such a hard one? Okay. What wild animal? Maybe like a peacock?
ooh, peacocks.
Yeah, let's make them more friendly, you know? They're pretty. They just want to wander around. I mean, I guess you could probably domesticate one now, though, right? What could evolve like a wolf to a dog? Oh. I think capybaras. Do you know what those are?
Yeah, capybaras. Yeah.
And what would we call them? Just like kitty bear?
Kitty bears. I love that. Capybara to kitty bear.
Yeah, right?
I love that.
And they're kind of soft and squishy and kind of seem just real dopey and cute.
From what I know, they're pretty chill. They don't really like.
So, like, we could make this happen quickly. Like, we wouldn't need years of evolution, I feel like. It could just be like, let's decide that kitty bears are now part of our lives.
I love that. That's awesome. That's a great answer, Jenna.
Thank you. I tried. Okay, guys, I was really put on the spot on that one.
Has anybody ever asked you that before?
No, you
Yes.
win. I mean, I was about to lie and be like, well, the last time I was asked this question, but I can't. The truth is, I have not been asked that question before. You did it.
Yes. I did it. I met my goal.
That's right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me more about how you got into comedy. What's your backstory?
My comedy journey, I would say, started out pretty standard, but I think my comedy career in general general has been a little different. So I started in New York City, very normal. A lot of comics started in New York. I had not ever thought about doing stand-up until I had already graduated from college. I was working in TV. I had watched stand-up comedy. I knew what it was, but for some reason it had never dawned on me personally that it was something I could do. So that was always something other people did. And I loved comedy. I was like obsessed with, this is going to age me because none of these people are on TV anymore. David Letterman.
Okay.
And Jon Stewart's back on TV, so that's good. I watched those guys and I watched late night TV, loved it. And so I always wanted to be comedy adjacent because that's what I enjoyed the most. And so when I got to college, I wanted to work in TV. I got involved in television, got into work in comedy. I worked at The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. That was the last place I worked TV where I started doing stand-up because I just was around stand-up and I saw these guys doing stand-up and like literally I was sitting at a show watching a friend and it was like 1,000 light bulbs went off. It was like that weird light bulb that Chris brought in here for us. It just bing came on and I went like, oh yeah, I could totally do stand-up. Why am I not doing this? This is like exactly what I'm looking for. I'm in control. I get to write my own stuff. No one really tells me what to say. I mean, clearly I have issues. Don't tell me what to say and I want to write my own material. And it just felt like, oh yeah, this is what I would do. So I started doing open mics and going around and begging people to give me some time on stage and started getting more shows here and there. And then after doing it for a few years, then I started to get more gigs and start headlining and the rest is history. But I would say my career is different in that I got married and have 4 children and that's just not the norm in the stand-up world. I think it's normal for men who are stand-ups because they're not expected to have the children and the, you know, traditional life of like, well, mom usually stays home and during the week I am sort of the stay-at-home mom. I'm just very basic. But on the weekends I disappear and get to go do stand-up and I think it's great. I love it. But I've had to sort of find my own path in stand-up because I don't go out every single weekend because my kids lose their minds when I'm gone every single weekend. But I go as much as I can. And I've made it work for me and I love it and I'm going to keep doing it. It's one of those beautiful things where I didn't choose like acting or some kind of athletic thing, which I couldn't do anyway. But it's nice because you don't really age out of stand-up. I actually think you just get better with age. Life experience gives you more to talk about. So that's what I'm grateful for. Nobody looks at me and goes like, well, you can't do stand-up. You have 4 kids. Like, no, anybody can do it. I love that about it.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
It's weird, okay?
Sounds like you found a really good work-life balance with your
Big
family.
time, yeah. And my husband, I found a guy who is extremely supportive. He is on board, right? Like, he believes in it. He believes in my ability. For him, it's like, well, yeah, of course you need to go. You do stand-up. That's your thing. So I love that he is very supportive of like, yeah, I got the kids. Don't worry. We'll take care of it. And we just have this like really nice flow where during the week, I really am like hands-on. I homeschool 2 of my kids. Like, we're in it. But then on the weekends, my kids are like, Mom goes and does shows. It's so weird, but you have to be careful telling your kids. Like, I had to really explain to them what stand-up was because when my first daughter went to kindergarten, this was pre-homeschool life, she went in and was like, my mom does shows on the weekends for money at clubs.
Oh, no.
The whole school's like, what does she do?
Oh, no.
So I had to like really, no, I stand there and I tell jokes, you guys, and I've shown them my stuff. Some of my kids think it's really funny. One of them's like, I don't really get it, Mom, but good for you. Real harsh, real, I don't know. She's a tough crowd,
though.
okay? But the rest of it, anyway, so yeah, I had to really make it clear. I tell jokes on the weekends at clubs. For money, but yes. A much different thing than what you might be imagining in your brains.
Yeah, that's funny though.
Yes.
But you're not the first stand-up comedian to have their career misconstrued in that way, though.
Yes, no, not at all.
So,
not at all.
And I'm sure you won't be the last either.
No.
So tell me about working on The Daily Show. What was that like?
Oh, it was great. It was so much fun. I worked there for 4 years from 2008 to 2012. So really in like the prime of their show, I feel like, you know, they were winning Emmys and I was a script assistant. So I was like very much down on the low totem pole, I guess. But I guess we don't say that anymore. I was down on the, I don't know. I was not high up, but I learned a ton. I learned how to write a joke. I learned how to make an argument. I mean, I just watched and learned so much and soaked up as much as I could. And then after 4 years of that, I was getting married and I was loving stand-up so much that I'm like, I just gotta go. I gotta flap my own wings and do my own thing. So that's when I left, but working there was fantastic. John was like a great boss, so much creativity every day. My favorite thing is that every day was different. Even though we would film a show and that process is the same, you know, cameras, whatever, rehearsal, the topic was different every day and different bits and different jokes. And so for someone who's trying to learn how to write jokes and do stand-up, it was like the best atmosphere because we were just writing. And I got to perform a couple of bits on the show, which was so amazing. And I got to like, you know, I would write pitch ideas for segments, or I would write tweets for the show back when X was Twitter. And so I got to do things that were challenging, but also I think were absolutely the catalyst for me getting into stand-up, where all of a sudden like joke writing became like a craft for me. Like, oh, there's something there. How do I write this idea and then turn it and twist it and come at it in a different way? So that was what was most exciting for me and the thing that I took away from it. And I mean, the people were great. Overall, I had a very positive experience in TV, which was nice.
Nice. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're so cool, Jenna.
I don't know about
you're
that.
So cool.
You're very nice. I'm pretty lame. I don't know if you know that. I'm a real boring mom, but it is what it is.
But you worked on The Daily Show, though.
I did. I worked on The Daily Show. My children will never understand what that really means, and they still think I'm a lame mom, but I think that's just how life works.
A lot of times, that's just how kids are.
But it is the circle of life. Yeah. It is what it is. You can't convince them otherwise. Like, hey, I used to be cool, okay? They don't care.
Yeah. Mm-mm. I think you're cool, though.
Well, thank you.
I do.
Thank you
I think
so
you're
much.
still cool.
Thank
I think
you.
you still got it.
Thank you. You know what? Thank you. I have got it.
Yeah. All right. Another question.
Great.
What do I want to ask you?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's gonna be another scary animal question, and I gotta get thinking here.
Have you ever had pets growing up? Have you had animals?
I was not an animal kid. Hated animals until my mom decided when I was in high school she was gonna get a dog for my younger brother because she wanted him to have a dog, and so we got a dog, and I hated the dog in the beginning. Then that pesky dog just really worked his way into her. I'm saying him, but it was she. She really worked her way into my heart. And now I'm like, I get it. Dogs are awesome. They're so sweet, but I can't have an animal right now because I just can't do it. Okay. I have 4 kids and I'm like still wiping butts and changing diapers. And I'm like, no, I can't have one more thing in my house that requires help with poop. You know, like I can't do it. So I told my kids, we can't get a dog until everyone in the house wipes their butt.
Hey, that's a pretty reasonable.
Graphic, but yes,
that's a pretty reasonable thing, though.
I think so too.
You know, that's a reasonable boundary.
Yes, like guys, we can't add more to what we're already doing here.
Right.
Plus with traveling and stuff. So my kids want a dog desperately, and there were some puppies. This is the most random sentence in the whole world, but my daughter takes parkour, and there were some puppies at the parkour gym yesterday because one of the coaches' dogs had puppies. My life is so weird. So we were snuggling puppies yesterday afternoon, and I would in my heart, I'm like, I get it. I want this puppy too. But I really can't. I can't. I barely get through life with the humans. We can't be adding another species into the group.
Right. I get that. Well, a lot of people, when you're looking for dogs, and even if you want a dog and you're actively looking for a dog, you don't usually get the first dog that you come into contact with. It takes a while to find the right one.
Yes. And I just, those puppies were so cute, but I just couldn't do it. I'm like, guys, we're not ready. Problem is my oldest, she's like, I'm going to move away and you guys are going to get a dog. I just know it. And I'm like, maybe.
How old is your oldest?
She's 10. So, maybe in 8 years we'll get a dog. I don't know. But she just constantly is holding it over my head. And she's trying to guilt trip me into getting a dog now. But I have to hold this line.
You know what I should tell her? I'm going to tell you a story.
Okay,
so it's something my dad told me. Mm-hmm. I was in school and there was something. He was trying to get me to do something. I didn't want to do it. And he's like, you know, Rebecca, listen, right now, you're a kid. I have to tell you what to do. But you stay in school. You get good grades. You get a good job. Buy your own house. And then no one can tell you what to do. And I was like, all right, bet. I'm not a parent. But something that I would tell your daughter is you know what? We're planning on getting a dog after everybody is able to wipe their butts. But if that doesn't happen, take this time, do good in school, get good grades, so you can get a good job, and then you can buy your own house, and then you can have as many dogs as you want.
That's right. And look at that. The freedom you'll have, except the freedom you won't have because you're going to be walking dogs all day. But you know what? Fine. If that's what you want, great.
I mean, if she's got a big enough yard, she can
That's true. Get a fence. Have some fun. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we don't have a fence. What are we going to do? I got to walk this dog every day? Can't do it yet. We're just not there yet.
Yeah, I get that. And then once they're old enough, the kids can take responsibilities as they get older.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
We're just a few years away. They just have to wait a little bit longer.
I get
So yes,
that.
not really a pet person. We had fish for a while. They lived way too long, let me tell you. I thought, oh, we're getting goldfish. This is great. My kids will love it for a couple of weeks. They'll die. Oh no, so sad. The goldfish lived for like a year.
Oh, wow.
It was unbelievable.
That's impressive.
Thank you. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, well, I thought goldfish just, hit, what is it? Hit the bucket?
Yeah,
right
hit
away.
the hay.
Kick to the bucket.
Or kick the bucket,
Kick to the bucket. Hit whatever it is. I thought this was like a quick life lesson. The fish die.
Learn
Flush
about
it down
death,
the
you know.
toilet. Whatever. And then a year later, we had to get fish sitters. It was a whole thing. So
Wow.
I'm not ready for pets. My daughter wants mice. And I'm like, oh, no rodents. Can't handle that.
I've heard there's like domesticated rats that you can keep as pets.
yeah.
A lot of people swear by them. They say
Oh,
that they're great, but
My friend had one in high school, and every time I visited, she'd be like, oh, we lost the rat again. I don't know where he is. Somewhere in the house. I'm like, no.
well, that's just irresponsible.
Thank you. I'm like,
Your friend was just irresponsible.
we cannot have a rat roaming this house. I can't be
Well,
here.
that's owner error. Okay, that's not the
We
rat's
shouldn't fault the rat.
No,
Okay,
don't
got
fault
it.
the rat.
Got
It's-
it.
If the rat is able to get out multiple times, once, okay, it happens.
Sure,
Like,
you forgot the
or
latch. Or
you
whatever.
forgot or something broke or something, like that's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
happen.
no, this was
but the
a
fact that it
regular.
happened multiple times, like, no, that's just neglect on your friend's part. Honestly.
Poor rat.
Yeah, honestly. Why didn't you like animals as a kid? Did you have anything specific, or is just not something that you were interested in?
I just wasn't interested. I didn't have any experience. I grew up in Korea, and I lived there till I was 8, and we had a dog, but it was just an outside dog, and it wasn't friendly. Like, I didn't love it, so I was kind of scared. I think it was more fear than, like, I didn't like them. I just was kind of a big baby. I don't know. I was scared of a lot of things as a kid. Like, scared of heights, scared of dogs, scared of whatever. I just was afraid. So I think as I grew up and gained more confidence and was less afraid of stuff, then life got a little easier. But like dogs, I was terrified of. And then we got a dog. She was a black lab, so she's a big dog, but friendly.
Yeah.
You know, labs are so sweet. So that was nice. But she was still really young when we got her, and I think she sensed my negative energy because she chewed up my watch. She chewed up a bunch of my stuff. And then once in a while, I would like, if I would crawl into bed, she'd come and she'd kick me and try to push me out of the bed. Like, I think we had a real combative relationship at the
Dang.
beginning. Then she was so stinking cute that I just couldn't. You can't resist after a while. And she was nice. So I
Yeah.
figured out, like, oh, you know what? Dogs are nice. This is probably more my issue than the dogs, you know? And now I really like dogs. And my brother had dogs. My mom's had another dog since then. Like, I'm into it now. But I held puppies yesterday. I was so brave.
Yeah. Puppies are great.
Oh, they're
I
so
have to
cute.
say.
Oh,
Yeah, I was at
it's unfair.
a couple of years ago, some people I knew were like dog sitting, and then not only were they dog sitting 2 of their friends' dogs, but they were also dog sitting the puppies that the dogs had. So there were like 8 dogs in the house because they had their own dogs as well. Those
That
puppies
is
were
so-
cute. I
they're
did get
so
to hold those
cute.
puppies. I couldn't take them. They were huskies, and I'm like, my apartment doesn't allow pets, and huskies are they're beautiful dogs. Don't get me wrong, I love
Oh,
them,
they're
but they are a lot
gorgeous.
it's a lot of work to
You
take
gotta
care
run
of them
them,
and keep
right? You gotta like.
Yeah,
let
they
them
need a lot of
be.
exercise. You have to keep like their minds engaged. That happens with any dog though. Like every dog needs exercise. Every dog
I know,
needs
but
to go.
huskies
But
are
depending
like-
on the
they're like a-
breed, it's gonna be more or less.
Yeah, like huskies. Like I have responsibilities, and I need to fulfill those
Yeah.
responsibilities.
Yeah, every animal you take on is a responsibility, but also have to do your research and make sure that the dog that you want is a dog that you can actually take care of. that
That's what I
fits in
mean,
with
though.
your
Like
lifestyle.
a husky feels
Yeah.
it in his heart that he or she has to like pull a sled or like do something
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I feel like it's in them, and I can't
Yeah,
dig
well,
that.
they're working dogs. It's
Yeah.
a working breed,
Mhm.
and you'll find that with like any breed, whatever they were bred to do. So, like
Yeah.
terriers dig a lot. I had a mini poodle when I was growing up, and he would like dig at pillows and stuff.
I
Yeah.
just always thought poodles they just had to stand around and put
No,
their
they-
nose in the air.
They
were
were
work
water
dogs.
Yeah, they're water
What?
dogs. Yeah,
I always
they
thought
were bred.
poodles were just for show.
No, they were bred to fetch the waterfowl. So like the hunter would shoot the duck, and the duck would fall into the lake, and then they'd have the poodle go get it. That's why that's why like the stereotypical like poodle grooming, where like all the
Yeah, the
fluffy
puffs,
parts on
yeah.
the puffs on their joints, that was supposed to help keep their joints warm. And then they shaved the rest of the dog down so they'd be more
So
aerodynamic
they're
in the
faster,
water.
but
Yeah.
they've got elbow pads and knee
Yeah.
pads. That's hilarious. And I gotta be honest, I just thought poodles were around
Yeah.
to just be hoity-toity dogs.
No, they're
so
waterfowl.
I really
They're-
misconception
Yeah,
there.
and that's why like their toes are webbed. So like how my finger like goes all the way
Yeah,
down, his
yeah.
was like kind of like a dip because they're meant to go swimming in the water, and they were also used to hunt truffles as well, which is why the digging was a big big thing. He would like dig at the carpet and dig at the
That's so
pillows.
crazy.
And if I wanted to play with my dog, I would just go to the tarp and like, Sparky, look, and then start digging, and then he would start digging at the spot. He's like, what did you find? Did you find something?
Oh my gosh, he's so disappointed. He's like, you're just making me dig to dig? What the heck? That's awesome. I had no idea. Yeah, I just assumed poodles were just eating their caviar on their silk pillows.
And some of them are probably. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for all poodles.
But I'm just saying, I don't know where that I really was wrong about them, okay? They're out there fetching ducks.
But if you didn't know that, unless you're actively like learning about dog breeds, you wouldn't think about that. You wouldn't know. And when exposed to poodles, they're on the fashion magazines with all the poofy
like
stuff.
They're wearing bling and like looking down on me. You know what I mean?
So it's like, oh, they're a fashion dog.
I feel intimidated by a poodle. Like maybe they have a nicer life than I do, you know?
Well, you know, I guess it depends on the dog.
Yeah.
You know.
The queen's pup.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Poodles are water dogs and they're
I had no idea.
truffle hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's fancy though. Truffles are fancy. So in a way.
They're
fancy.
But if they're considered a popular breed amongst upper class, I don't know all the trends of people breeding. I just know like a lot of backyard breeding isn't great and that happens sometimes. That's not, well, it happens a lot more than sometimes and that's a huge problem.
Yes,
or people not doing enough research when they're getting their dogs and they're like, oh, I want this thing because it's cute and fluffy. And then they're like, oh, wait, actually, I have responsibilities now that I can't
big ones,
handle. And that makes me upset.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we can't have a dog. I am not ready for the responsibility of a dog. Can't do it. Full circle here. Can't do it. Yeah. Not ready. Take that. I've announced it to the world.
And that's a very responsible take to have.
Thank you.
There you go.
I am a grown person who can keep her children alive and well. They're doing great, but I can't add a dog in.
Yeah, not right now.
Not yet.
And I support your decision to wait to have a dog until you don't have to wipe so many butts.
It's just a lot, okay? It's been a long time.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah.
You know, it's just like you have another one and then another one, and like you think you're out of it, and then you have another one.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And you said you got 4 of them. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot of responsibility. So, yeah, I don't blame you.
Mm-hmm. It's great, though. They're awesome.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I don't have kids, so I'm like, people tell me about their kids, and I'm like, cool, kids. But then I don't know what else to say because I don't have any of my own, so I can't really expand on that except for like.
You don't need to because I'm here to do that for you.
I appreciate that. Jenna, you have been such a good sport answering all my questions and chatting with me. You got anything you want to ask me? Any weird scenarios you want to put me through? Any strange thought experiments?
Do you want kids someday?
That's a good question.
It's a personal question. We're getting real personal.
Get real personal.
Pod. Yeah. Maybe. You seem really young. You're young, right? You got lots of time.
Well, I'm 28. So I'm not.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You still got a 2. You're good. Yeah.
Before I hit the 3s, then we'll start asking.
Yeah.
I think I've never I'm not necessarily anti-kid.
Sure.
I worked with kids growing up. Yeah. I volunteered a lot when I was a teenager, and a few times when I'm out in public, toddlers will just run up to me. So I'm
you give a general hey, she seems all right.
Yeah.
I guess. You bring me into this room. It looks like a kidnapping, but I feel perfectly safe. Okay.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. But yeah, no. When I was in college, I was working housekeeping, and I was vacuuming a floor, and then there was this 2-year-old toddler boy following me around and looking up at me. I'm like, hi, do you want to help me vacuum? What's going on? Do you have a person?
Yeah, where's your parents?
Yeah, that happened. Well, they came and got him and then they left. More recently, I was shopping and I was walking through the aisles and then there was this little girl running through the clothing section, about a 2-year-old, just kind of unsupervised, and I'm just looking around does she have
I just need to know that she's safe.
Yeah. So I kept an eye on her and then eventually she found me and came up to me as the toddlers do.
Yeah.
So I just kind of kept her in one spot, trying to ask her questions of she's like, oh, the mannequin's wearing shoes. She had a binky in her mouth too, so I couldn't hear what she was saying, but she's pointing at the shoes. I'm like, yeah.
She's really little.
Yeah, she's wearing shoes. Does your mom wear shoes like that?
What shoes does your mom have on?
Yeah, is she wearing tennis shoes like mine, or do they look like yours? And then this other lady came up to me oh, she's so cute. I was like, is she yours? She's like, no, she's not mine, but she's cute. I'm like, well, yes, she's darling.
What an adorable child with no adult supervision.
Yeah, and I'm like, she's darling. Where are her parents?
Yeah, but they might not want to lose her. She's pretty cute.
Yeah, but her mom came over. I guess she was
so funny.
I guess she was working on something and got distracted or something, and then she's just
they take off.
Toddler.
I tell you do your best, and then once in a while they run away, and you think, oh my gosh, gosh, I'm not a bad parent. How did
No,
you do
you're not.
this?
It happens. Yeah, it happens.
But it sounds like,
Yeah.
you know, someday maybe you've got some good instincts. Keep kids safe. Don't let them run away.
But you know what I really want to do, Jenna? You know what my big dream is? I want a steady editing gig. I want to get a house, and then I want to get a dog.
Hey, these
That's
are
it.
good dreams.
Yeah.
Good dreams. I
Those are
approve
my-
of your dreams.
Those are my dreams.
I think those are fantastic. And what about stand-up? Do you still do stand-up?
Yeah, I do stand-up.
Oh,
I'm
good.
still up on stage. I
Yeah,
go up
yeah,
for open
yeah.
mics. I go here and I go to a couple of other places.
Great.
And then I'll talk to Chris. I usually, when I'm here on Fridays, he lets me go up for like 5 minutes. So
Great.
nice.
Very cool.
So-
Well, it's been great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming, Jenna. I'm
Yeah.
gonna shake your hand if that's okay.
That's perfect.
You can't see it because it's
We're
just
shaking
audio.
hands,
but
guys.
We're
Can you
shaking
hear
hands.
that? It was
Heck
official.
Yeah. You have anything you want to plug before we do our outro?
Yes, if you want to learn more about me, follow me on all the social media at Jenna Kim Jones. You can go to my website to learn more where I'm performing next, what I'm up to, jennakimjones.com. You can listen to my podcast, The Ripple Effect with Jenna Kim Jones. It's an iHeartRadio podcast, and it's available on all podcast platforms. So thank you so much for having me. Can't wait for the weekend.
You are so welcome, Jenna. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
You bet.
So this podcast is pre-recorded, so by the time this airs, Jenna's show will be over. But don't let that stop you from coming to a live show at Krackpots Comedy Club, okay? You can go to our website, krackpotscomedy.com, check out our schedule, see what strikes your fancy. If you come in for a Friday or Saturday show, tell them Rebecca sent you, and you will get $5 off your check while you are here at Krackpots Comedy Club in Massillon, Ohio. Check out Dinda Mo's Unique Chocolate. She's got her own little booth right at the front of the club. You'll find it. And you can also order Pigs in Mud, which is a little brownie shaped like a piggy that's covered in chocolate and then coated in chocolate syrup. You can only order it here at Krackpots. So come here and do it. Yes. And then we talked about this a little bit earlier, but we're upstairs, second floor Krackpots. Well, it's above Krackpots. And we got this old radio station. We have one room for the podcast, but we've got a couple of other rooms that aren't really being used right now. So if like maybe you have a podcast or like a short film or something, you can reach out to Funny Noises Productions at nfpbookings@gmail.com and talk to them and get more information on that. Yep. That's the end of my plugs. And it's also the end of this episode of Krackpots We Met Downstairs. Thank you guys for watching. Well, you know, it's a podcast. Thank you for listening. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!